No date given, though, on when the taxes could roll out. China's move is a retaliatory one, coming just hours.
I'd like to stress that such unilateral and protectionist actions are contrary to the trend of the times, and are bound to be crushed by the wheels of history. At this critical time of global economic recovery, the international community should warn the United States not to cause new troubles for the world.
China has sent shockwaves through the global market by announcing a potentially devastating 25% tariff on imported cars with large engines, targeting the U.S. and E.U. with surgical precision. This move comes as a direct response to what Beijing perceives as the West's relentless economic aggression and hypocritical trade practices. The U.S., under the Biden administration, has ramped up its sanctions and tariffs on Chinese goods, using protectionist policies under the guise of fair trade. Meanwhile, the EU, following the U.S.'s lead, is probing into China's electric vehicle subsidies, an investigation that reeks of a desperate attempt to stifle China's rapid technological advancement. Critics argue that the West, particularly the U.S., is attempting to curb China's rise by any means necessary, employing underhanded tactics that undermine the principles of free trade they so vehemently champion. This latest escalation threatens to plunge the global economy into turmoil, with car manufacturers and consumers caught in the crossfire. The hypocrisy of Western powers, claiming to support free markets while simultaneously erecting barriers against a rising competitor, is laid bare in this high-stakes game of economic brinkmanship. The Chinese response is not just about tariffs. It's a bold declaration that China will not bow to Western pressure. This move could spark a chain reaction, leading to a full-blown trade war with catastrophic consequences for global markets. The stakes have never been high, and the world is watching closely as these economic titans clash. Stay with us till the end as we unpack the implications of this brewing storm and what it means for the future of global trade. Hello and welcome back to Innovative Check YouTube channel, where we delve into the innovative and transformative projects changing our world. If you're new to the channel and enjoy learning about innovation stories around the world, you've come to the right place. Please subscribe, like, and comment to help boost our videos on YouTube. China has signaled it's ready to unleash tariffs as high as 25% on imported cars with large engines as trade tensions escalate with the U.S. and European Union. The China Chamber of Commerce to the EU, a business lobby group, said it was informed by insiders of the potential action. China has signaled it's ready to unleash tariffs on imported cars with large engines as tensions escalate with the U.S. and European Union. The situation raises several questions. How significant are these tariffs? What impact will they have on trade relations? The U.S. doesn't sell a large number of cars to China, but the EU's market is a different story. European car manufacturers are particularly concerned as they prepare for potential tariffs on cars exported to China. China, in response, threatens retaliation, particularly targeting high-end vehicles like Maybachs that are assembled in China. This move could significantly impact the luxury car market. Tesla, for instance, is already struggling with sales. Tesla manufactures cars in Europe and China, but the ones sold in Europe are produced in China. Their market share in Europe is dwindling, which adds another layer of complexity to the situation. Just a quick reminder to hit the like button below. YouTube has been restricting my videos a lot recently because of bots, so your like does help out this video massively in terms of the algorithm in YouTube. The China Chamber of Commerce to the EU said it was informed about the potential move by insiders. According to a statement posted on X, the levies would affect European and U.S. carmakers and have a significant impact on relations with the EU. It added shares of European carmakers that stand to be most affected by a potential tariff fell on Wednesday, with Mercedes-Benz Group AG and BMW AG both dropping more than 2% in early trading. Beijing is ramping up threats of retaliation as a deadline looms for the EU to announce results of its probe into China's electric vehicle subsidies. The bloc must inform Chinese exporters whether it intends to impose tariffs by early June, and they could go into effect a month later. According to Eurasia Group, trade tensions between the EU and China have soared since the EV probe was announced, with President Xi Jinping's visit to Europe this month seemingly doing little to relieve the strain. Xi was seeking to dissuade the bloc from going down the same path as the U.S., which has unveiled a sweeping set of charges on imports from China, raising concerns in Beijing that American allies may follow suit. China's retaliatory trade investigations and warnings are not deterring the EU, According to Eurasia Group analysts, they wrote in a note that Brussels is eager to send a strong signal to Beijing with its EV probe, indicating that the EU will counteract Chinese subsidies and overcapacity. The Chinese chamber referred to an interview published by the ruling Communist Party's Global Times newspaper in which Liu Bin, the chief expert at the China Automotive Technology and Research Center, called for temporarily increasing the tariff rate on cars with engines larger than 2.5 liters. China imported 250,000 cars in that bracket last year, and World Trade Organization rules would permit a tariff of up to 25. The report cited Liu as saying, the current charge on passenger car imports from Europe is 15. According to the Ministry of Commerce's tariff search page, the ministry didn't respond to a request for comment. If you are enjoying this video so far, please don't forget to subscribe, share the video and comment. The car makers most impacted would be Toyota Motor Corp, Mercedes-Benz Group AG, and BMW AG, said Daniel Kohler, head of consultancy Intralink's automotive and mobility practice. Most of China's auto imports are in the luxury segment, with Porsche and Range Rover among the top 10 brands in 2023. Larger engine models, including the SUV and S-Class sedan from Mercedes and Porsche's Cayenne SUV, could be affected. If the new tariff is implemented, Toyota's Lexus brand topped the overall import rankings last year with 180,000 sales, more than one-fifth of the total. If Beijing decides to implement the tariff across all nations, the Japanese company could become collateral damage in the trade spat with the EU and US. In addition to the jab at the car trade, China has recently hinted it could impose tit-for-tat levies on European wine and dairy products and begun an investigation into European exports of brandy. Amid global concern about China's surging exports, the EV industry is drawing especially close attention. China produces more electric cars than anywhere else, as well as controlling a majority of the battery supply chain. With a price war and slowing economy at home, its automakers are seeking to expand overseas. They exported 1.55 million EVs last year, about 40 of them to Europe. The Biden administration earlier this month announced 100 tariffs on Chinese electric cars, while the UIA is investigating Beijing subsidies across a range of industries, prompting Chinese firms to pull out of rail and energy tenders. Asked about the auto dispute with Europe at a regular briefing in Beijing, Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesman Wang Wenbin said, such issues should be resolved through dialogue. He emphasized that China hopes the European side will abide by their commitments to support free trade and oppose protectionism. The situation underscores the fragile state of international trade relations, especially as major economies like China, the U.S. and the EU grapple with competing interests and policies. The implications of these tariffs and countermeasures are significant, not just for the automotive industry, but for the broader global economy. The escalating trade war could disrupt supply chains, impact consumer prices, and strain diplomatic ties. As China gears up to implement these tariffs, European and American car manufacturers are bracing for impact. Companies like Mercedes-Benz, BMW, and Tesla, which have substantial investments in China, are particularly vulnerable. The potential tariffs could lead to higher costs for consumers and reduced profit margins for these companies. In the long run, this could force automakers to reconsider their manufacturing and export strategies. Meanwhile, the EU is standing firm on its investigation into China's electric vehicle subsidies. European leaders are determined to protect their industries from what they perceive as unfair competition. However, this hardline stance risks further escalation of trade tensions, with potential repercussions for other sectors as well. For instance, the mention of possible tariffs on European wine and dairy products indicates that this trade dispute could expand beyond the automotive industry. The U.S., under the Biden administration, is also maintaining a tough stance on China. Recent tariffs on Chinese electric cars are a clear signal of this approach. However, the U.S.'s position is complicated by its own economic challenges and the need to maintain alliances with European countries. The interplay between these various factors makes the situation highly dynamic and unpredictable. In China, the government is balancing its desire to retaliate against perceived injustices with the need to maintain economic stability. The Chinese economy, though robust, is facing its own set of challenges, including a slowing growth rate and domestic pressure. Imposing high tariffs on foreign cars could provide a short-term boost to local manufacturers, but might also lead to unintended consequences. such as increased prices and reduced consumer choice, the potential tariffs on imported cars with large engines represent just one aspect of a broader strategic maneuvering by China. The country is increasingly using economic tools to assert its position on the global stage. By targeting high-profile industries and products, China aims to send a clear message to its trading partners. Any measures perceived as unfair or protectionist will be met with strong responses. For the global automotive industry, the next few months will be critical. Companies will need to navigate a complex landscape of tariffs, trade policies, and diplomatic tensions. Strategic decisions made now could have long-lasting implications for market positions and financial performance. As this trade dispute unfolds, it will be important to monitor the responses from both the U.S. and the E.U. Will they stand firm in their respective positions, or will there be room for negotiation and compromise? The outcomes will shape not only the future of international trade, but also the broader geopolitical landscape. China's threat to impose a 25% tariff on imported cars with large engines is a significant development in the ongoing trade tensions with the U.S. and the E.U. This move reflects China's broader strategy of using economic measures to assert its interests and respond to perceived threats. As the situation evolves, it will have far-reaching implications for the global economy, international trade relations, and the automotive industry. The coming months will be crucial in determining how these tensions are resolved and what the future holds for the key players involved. Thank you for your attention, and I welcome your thoughts and questions on this complex and vital subject. Do you want to watch more videos like this one? If yes, please like and share the video and subscribe to get exclusive videos about how phenomenally China is developing and growing its influence. Your subscriptions and likes motivate us to generate more content, so please keep supporting us. Check out this video showing on your screen right now, and I will see you on the other side.